Sports. I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
My eardrums are bleeding, but I've said that one before, so I'm going to go with, let's kick this puppy.
No! I tried to stop saying that before we started the show because it's mean. I don't want to promote violence towards animals.
Well, maybe we get more listeners if we were more controversial.
Oh, is that how you want to play the show now?
Yeah.
We're 328 episodes in, and now you want to get controversial?
We're just going to trump it up. We're just going to say whatever. We're just going to say we need to go to Iran and kill all the children. And that'll stop terrorism. If we blow up every child in Iran, there will be no more terrorists.
Guys, this is you know what happens every time somebody...
I'm not saying that we should commit war crimes. I'm just saying that we should murder all the children and rape their women.
No, we can't play this game. If we play the game that Trump plays, we obviously lose. Look what happens to all the other candidates. If you play his game, you lose.
No, if you don't play his game, apparently you lose.
No, you can't out douchebag that guy.
Yeah, but nobody was trying to out douchebag him. That's the thing. Ted Cruz wasn't trying to be a douchebag. Ted Cruz legitimately believed everything he said. That's why he lost. Because that, and also he's the Zodiac killer.
He is.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, there were those pictures with him buying the bleach and the shovel and everything, but that's all circumstantial.
Nope, Zodiac killer.
I mean,
you know how many European? Okay, hold on. You know how many European people are worried about us now, guys? Like, I just went to Germany.
You know how many American people are worried about us?
Oh my god, it was hilarious. I woke up like a couple of days ago and with a Facebook notification, and it was like new message from somebody, and I was like, what? Or whatever. I was tagged in a post from somebody. I was like, who the fuck is? And it was like a listener who's like European, and it was like, I'm not from America, but don't vote Trump. Like, it was like a really heartfelt thing that I didn't read because I'm the worst.
Why wouldn't you read that?
He tagged like every American he's friends with on Facebook, and I was like, oh, cool. I mean, I don't care. But yeah,
I didn't meet one person from around the world, and this conference I was at in Germany is a worldwide thing. Obama was there. I got like 10 feet away from Obama and Chancellor Merkel. They didn't. No, I reached out for a handshake, and then they broke my arm. Yeah. So yeah, that's how that went. The security detail was amazing. There were snipers on the roof and Black Hawk helicopters and 2 Beast limos, and
Black Hawk helicopters.
They were huge.
2 Beast limos.
Just no, guys. Focus for just a minute. I mean, I know. Anyway, so yeah, I got really close to Obama, but I wasn't allowed to talk to him. So that was, that was my chance. I was gonna tell him, thank you for all the stuff, but he just didn't want to talk to me, I guess. Maybe he listened to the show and he was like, I don't know about that guy.
Or maybe he just didn't want to talk to every random shitty person that shows up to this thing.
I take issue with that. I'm not all shitty.
You're like, I'm not some random shitty person. Yeah. I'm a very specific
I'll have you know that I have at least a few hundred people that listen to a show every week for some reason.
I have a few tens of people.
There's literally tens of people that care about. Speaking of that, if you care about the show, send us an email. What are your thoughts? How is life? What games are you playing? Are you looking forward to Overwatch? Send us an email. The email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com.
Should we vote Trump or not vote Trump?
Oh, God, yeah. You want to...
Also, who are you gonna marry in Stardew Valley? Because I don't know. I mean, like, I've been like
legitimate questions.
I'm thinking Penny. Like, I think Leah's probably the most attractive to me. But Penny's because she's book smart. So
what is Stardew Valley? What is Xanadu Valley?
Sounds like
Stardew Valley.
Are you playing a dating sim? Is this what your life has turned into?
No. Stardew Valley. It's a game. It's on the PC. It might be on other stuff, but I think it's primarily PC. It's been out for like 2 months, so nobody gives a shit anymore. But it's essentially a sort of a spiritual successor to like a Harvest Moon type game. It's a Harvest
Really?
Moon. Yeah, your grandpa leaves you a farm, and you can it's fun because you can kind of do whatever. In this game, you can farm if you want. You can raise animals. You can go fishing. You can do, you can go into. I've spent a lot of time in the mines, just going deeper, fighting monsters. But yeah, it's very open to however you want to play it.
Or I
Oh.
could just go outside and do a lot of that shit outside.
Oh, you could say that all the time. This is a video game. Leave out
No,
your dreams.
listen, no, Ike is a very accomplished farmer. Like, we all know this.
You don't mess with this.
So is it like a
I love
free
it.
game?
I love
You under the table.
As you're like, I could go outside, you pointed backwards, and you're actually pointed at all the fake plastic bullshit Funko Pops.
No,
you
I
have,
had to grow those in my garden. That shit's hard.
These are natural.
Already
You
formed.
fucking nerds. Why don't you just go outside? As he points to all his toys.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's as you're wearing I thought that shirt was like a Horde shirt too. I'm like,
No,
you're wearing a
it's
Horde
absurd.
shirt.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, so you got a D&D shirt on. You got your whatever WoW expansion poster in the back there, a Horde poster, and a whole bunch of pop vinyls, and you're the outside guy. Like that. No wonder our show is.
Go outside and get your dick sucked.
Joe, I can't hear you with that 8 extra pounds of fat you have on me.
I didn't gain 8 pounds. You lost 8 pounds. It doesn't
Yeah,
work
I can't
that way.
hear you
I,
through the fat.
did your fat go to your ears? Like, is that the problem here?
But
Oh my
Stardew
God.
Valley,
I'm going for controversial.
It's not a free game. It's only $15 though, and it's a lot of fun. You know.
All right, so my question, because I haven't played either of them, would you say Don't Starve is better or worse than this, or is that comparing apples and oranges?
They're apples and oranges because this is not because you don't starve in this game. You don't have to even ever eat. You don't want to. Like,
But the amount of fun that you're getting, would you have more fun in Don't Starve?
Well, Don't Starve is interesting because it's like it's repeating the same thing over and over again, trying to perfect it. It's like trying to do the same thing, action over and over, trying to get it right. This like, not quite. Yeah, I died. Try again. Not quite. I died. Come back tomorrow. Not quite. Whereas this is more of a long-term thing, where I'm slowly building something. I'm slowly building my farm. I'm building the capabilities to grow things better and faster and become a better farmer. And it's a sort of a long-term game. Whereas Don't Starve, you can.
Is all anxiety inducing, and you lose everything, and it stresses you out, and it doesn't. You never feel a sense of accomplishment, and it's terrible. And your wife just wants to play it so bad, and you have to keep telling her no because it gives you anxiety attacks. Personal story.
Wow, Joe, way to make this all about you.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. So deal with it.
There's only 10 characters you can marry, 5 ladies, 5 dudes, which is fine. I don't think it matters what sex you are, because I mean I'm playing a dude, but I think anyone can marry anyone, which is really forward thinking on Stardew Valley. But yeah, I'm just Penny because I always see her at the library, and I'm like, yeah, you know, she that's nice. I mean, I don't know, maybe as I get further in the game, maybe I'll change my mind. You know, one of the other girls. I will say Haley's just fucking stuck up. I don't like her. I don't like her.
Eric, can we talk about something? What else did you do this week?
Shoes. It's always.
This is so inside that I don't get it. I want to play Xanadu Valley, but I need to learn more about this. Is there like a Peppermint Patty kind of girl in that, like the jock girl? Is she in there?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. You can kind of go, but yeah, Stardew Valley is fun, and I'm enjoying it. You know, except fishing. I'm terrible at it. Just the worst at fishing.
Is it like World of Warcraft fishing though, where you just kind of put the thing in there and you try not to fall asleep at your keyboard so you can click the button?
It's that, except once you get the hit, you have to click it real fast, and that opens a separate mini game where there's like a little fish is going like up and down, and you have to like keep the cursor like at the right point, and you can only like move it up, like you hit left click to raise the cursor, and then like let go so it falls, and you have to like kind of as the fish moves around like hold it, and it's really hard to do.
Just like
it sounds like real fishing. Why even go outside and real fish when you could do this?
Oh well, dude, let's go get this suck.
This is actually okay. Let's talk fishing here for a minute. So I have a problem, guys. I have a huge problem.
It's hard to fish where you are.
Well, no, I'm actually right on a canal. I can just go out and fish very easily. It's not. So this is my issue. Sarah wants to go fishing really bad, and I can't. ever. Just as fishing is not my thing at all. So I've been trying to like push her dad into saying like, like, hey daughter, let's go fishing together, so I can just
you can fucking suck it. Why is it always like Sarah wants to? I don't know. She wants to eat dinner at a nice place, or she wants to play a video game that I don't particularly like, or she wants to do this activity, and I have to constantly tell her no. Suck my dick.
Listen, babe.
You sound just like me.
You are the love of my life, and I want to be with you forever.
Guys,
holy shit! Let's not rush into that. I can't be pressured.
Now let's watch Star Wars for the next 1000th time.
Is that how I sound? Is that really how I sound?
When you don't have the background noise.
I just need... Oh, you asshole. Okay, I just need to... When was the last time you guys went fishing?
Not since I was, like, in Boy Scouts, I think.
Okay, when was the last time you went fishing?
I'd probably say when I was, like, 12. So, 1830. It's been a while.
Yeah, so, I mean, when was the last time that you, like, stuck a worm through a hook and went, like,
I never used a worm. I used, I would use bait, like the bait that's, like, Play-Doh and it smells awful. But I've never caught a fish in my life. I've never, ever caught a fish.
Wait, what about in Xanadu Valley?
I mean,
caught fish in that.
Xanadu Valley, I've caught a couple of fish, but not that many.
See? You have to master it there, then you can go out into real life. Ike, have you ever caught a fish?
I've caught several fish out fishing. In fact, I think the last time I went fishing was in the Great Lakes.
Really?
Yeah, when we went up there for houseboat trips with the family, so we get two houseboats and drive around. So my dad had some fishing poles. I remember distinctly the last time I went fishing was I threw the pole out, and I think I literally threw the pole off the back of this moving boat. Which is my dad's really good pole and is really good, like it wasn't intentional. It was like rah, like
oh my gosh.
My dad's like, whatever, like that was all my good shit, but I'll live.
I think so. The problem here is. I don't know how to fish very well, and I don't want to learn. So
well, why not? You get to make these memories with your.
No, I'm just not into it. Like I'm just kind of the not fishing type.
You sit on a lake talking, and then occasionally one of you goes,
no, I see. I would rather just go out on a boat and just sit out on the lake and talk rather than like distract myself with fishing and like getting lines tangled and like everybody romanticizes fishing like it's this great thing. But you know what?
I'm not romanticizing it. I'm saying there's so little to do with fishing that there's
tons to do.
Sitting on a boat, adding fishing onto the just sitting there is not like it's this complex You're not solving out equations. You're taking a fucking stick with some string and dangling it in the water for like a fucking hour until you get bored or you're too drunk to do it anymore.
No, I can't. I'm too finicky.
Like you're listening for like black holes that have exploded and caused gravity waves.
By the way, that was an excellent episode. If you want to listen to a really good episode of Just Cool Enough,
$3 million amongst all of the people involved.
Did they really? That's great.
I think it's time to get real chummy with Rob.
We did an excellent episode. It was called A Space-Time Oddity. Go search it up. Just Cool Enough. A Space-Time Oddity. I don't remember what episode number it was. It was excellent.
If you want to look at it as stop like I don't want to do this because it doesn't appeal to me, then you can still look at it another completely selfish way that you might get something out. But it's like, well, listen, I don't want to do this, but she does. So if I do it with her,
you guys are making this.
If I go.
I'm Italian. Ladies can't have fun unless they suck my dick.
It's like you're in my mind, Eric.
If I go fishing with her, this is the way you could approach it. Maybe when I want to do something that she's really not that into, I'll be like, hey, I tried fishing with you. Why don't you try this with me? And she's more apt to be like, okay, and not like, go fuck yourself because you didn't go fishing with me.
Well, no, okay, so generally we're pretty simpatico.
So let me put it in your butt.
You're pretty simpatico. I've already heard you tell me you don't want to play video games with her because you hate that game. Now you don't want to go fishing with her because you hate that.
It's one particular game. It's one game. And then also, hey, I do a lot of stuff. Like, I went kayaking. I thought I was going to hate that, but I just sat there and fell in a lake. I did it.
Maybe you'll enjoy fishing.
No. Nope. Not going to enjoy fishing.
You're eating spinach balls, for Christ's sake. I'm sure you'll love fishing.
I don't like spinach balls either. They're No, actually, these are wonderful. Thank you, babe. But for real, she's listening. Like she listens to the show.
She's sitting in the corner of the room just with her arms crossed, listening.
The whole reason I brought up this story is because I was trying to bring a dad and the daughter closer together. And
Horseshit.
And you guys just turned it around and made it some terrorism piece about Joe Cariotti over here.
You asked us our opinion on what we thought about you trying to blow it off.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Our opinion was you're a fucking moron.
I didn't ask your opinion at all.
Listen,
you guys
being on the show and bringing it up, you've automatically asked our opinion.
You forced your opinion down my throat and ear holes.
Yeah, see, but you brought it up on the show because you wanted to talk about it. It's not like, why are we talking about this thing that I presented to you in an entertaining fashion in this medium where we talk about what we do entertaining, like, and state our opinions? How dare you?
Wait, whatever happened to my other impression of you from me when you were like, "Yeah, my name's Joe," man? Like, that was way better. When did I get it? I never got a deep voice.
Yeah, well, that's because now you're married. Before you're like, yeah, I'm Joe Cariotti. I got a girlfriend, and I'm trying to keep her, but it's okay. And now you're an old man. You're married. You're like, I'm gonna go take a shit. That raviolis are ready.
Look at even the chat room. The chat room is justcoolenough.com/live. We do the show live every week at 6:30
Don't say
Eastern
the chat
time.
room. It's one person. It's one person. Don't be like everyone in chat is.
There were more people in there, but now there's just
Joe
Freck.
left.
And he says, "Leave Joe alone," and I think that is a great thing. Leave me alone. Anyway.
Yeah, because you can't defend yourself.
Well, you know what? He doesn't have a mic, so his opinion doesn't matter.
Touche.
Right. I'm just gonna let's hard stop this segment here, guys. If you want to start your own podcast, you can in under 5 minutes with ShoutEngine.com. Go to ShoutEngine.com today, and even you can start a podcast that's as great as this one.
Yeah.
And also want to you could easily.
This took us 6 years to get this good.
We're slow learners.
We're just slow, really. I don't know about the learning part.
Yeah,
we're slow failures. We're failing nice and slow.
Because I did a podcast, a buddy's podcast, and
what was it called, Eric?
It's called the No Show Show or something like that. It's not out. The episode's not out yet because this dude he records every week almost, and him and his co-host. They record like a couple in a day. And so, like, I was like the second or third podcast that he was doing that day. It was crazy. And then, like, he's still excited. He's talking about it. We're talking about Ninja Turtles. And the craziest part was I got to be I thought, like, he asked me. I was like, yeah, sure. And then I thought I'd be, like, the only guest. And then he brought two of the guys from 5 Second Films on to also talk. So I got to meet them and talk about Ninja Turtles with, like, these guys I really respect. I'm like, what? This is fucking cool.
Well, that's kind of so. You talked about very important topics with these people you really respected, like Ninja Turtles. Like that's the thing. Like you brought your respected people into the show, and you're like, oh my gosh, Ninja. Let's talk the modern day.
I didn't pick the topic. He said, want to come to my podcast and talk about Ninja Turtles? I was like, yeah, sure. I love Ninja Turtles as much as the next fool. And then he's like, oh, here's the two guys from 5 Second Films to talk about Ninja Turtles, and one of them he was a super super knowledgeable guy. He brought some of the toys and stuff like that. And like,
what?
And then we went and got pizza afterwards.
That's great.
I want to bring up, I don't appreciate the fact that Eric comes on the show, starts talking about something he really likes, and then you start bashing on him. That's just
that's
not nice. That's not nice.
I'm sorry. I know I should be a more supportive co-host.
It's really disheartening because you're like, oh, how was your week? And then I'll start talking, and you're like, fuck you. What you think is stupid.
I just wish I had a good Eric voice. I can't impersonate Eric very well. I'm gonna work on it. My name's Eric. I'm did comedy one time, and now everybody thinks I'm really funny.
Yeah, that's close enough.
That's close enough. I'm just gonna mock everything you say the whole show.
I see. The problem is you can't do it as well as I could because I would go, I'm Eric. I took a UCB class, so I'm a master of comedy.
Crap, he's inside his own head. Also, I want to just point out, if you look at the live chat room now, we got Team Joe in there, so I'm just saying. Hashtag Team Joe.
Just because you open 3 more browsers does not mean...
There's somebody named Canadian _girl 007 in the chat. That just doesn't happen. We got all kinds of people.
You opened up 4 browsers, is what you're saying.
I wish I
don't care how many tabs you open up. That doesn't change it.
Thank you, Team Joe in the chat room. Send your hate mail to Eric and Ike. that is, and Freck points out, that is Candace Canada there in the chat room.
No, because she's busy doing international field hockey and modeling.
If you don't know who Candace Canada is, you should follow her on Twitter. It's actually Eric's. I mean, this is your long-term girlfriend. You've been going out with her for years.
Totally not fictional girlfriend. And we've been together for years. Even those months when I was dating a real life person that wasn't made up.
She was totally cool with it.
Well, I mentioned it like I was like, hey, I don't know, like this probably like will never come up, but you should probably know on my podcast I have a fictional girlfriend. It's like, so if you ever wonder, like,
and did Candace buy it? That you.
So I was like, if that ever like happens, because this was like the height of when that bit was a part of the show before we just stopped doing it. I was like, so if you ever like, I don't know, see a weird like Twitter reply or something, so like that's what that is. Like,
oh my gosh,
I could not give a shit.
Really, she stopped being your real girlfriend because she got a Twitter from Candace Canada. It was like, listen, he's mine, buddy. You back off.
No, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that I'm like a stunted man child.
Yeah, you know what you should try? You should try go fishing with her, Eric. That always fucking works.
I mean, I would have. I took her to roller coasters.
That's how desperate you are. You're so desperate you'll go fishing with a woman.
I mean, I would have done that because I took her to Six Flags and made her cry. So
that would be the quietest fishing trip ever.
This is the most awkward
fishing.
That would the most awkward fishing trip. Something bad would happen. You'd pull back your line and you'd like catch your eyelid on a hook or something. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
At least you have two of them.
Owned a lake house or something in fucking Minnesota or some bullshit.
Oh God. Why Minnesota?
That's where she was from.
Oh, did she have an accent and everything?
Nope.
Don't you know? Nope, don't you know? Okay, Ike, we never actually went over how was your week. How was your week, Ike?
Fairly well. Yeah, I was out exercising a lot. And Tish gave me a run for my money last week.
Damn, you guys tore it up. You really did.
You were up there for a while. I'm like, for a guy who claims he's in Germany all week, he's putting the steps in.
Dude, that was me working at a trade show. I was working hard.
So I don't know. I was like, keeping along with you, and then Tish just wouldn't. I don't know what I don't know if he attaches it to a cat or sits there with some kind of weird stick and like waves it around so he can get, because he was getting.
He shakes a lot of hands. He puts it on his dominant hand and shakes a lot of hands, so it thinks he's doing steps.
He's a professional handshaker. Professional handshaker. And
so,
life
in the end, the gym teacher who we had on Just Fit Enough a few weeks ago, a friend of mine, Jeff, he's like, you know what? He's like, I was gonna take the week off, but this Tish guy, I don't know who he is, but he needs to be taken down a few notches. So he gave him a couple of days.
I want his Fitbit dead. I want his dead.
So I mean, like this Jeff M guy, I've only beat him like once, maybe twice, and every time he's always up in the lead. By the way, we're talking about our Fitbits here. We track our steps and Fitbits. You have to say it like a fat guy. You've never seen a thin person wearing a Fitbit before, but yeah. Well, maybe in LA, you guys are trendsetters over there.
Also, everybody's working out all the time.
Yeah, everybody's just at Muscle Beach, and they're just.
Eric's actually working out right now. You just don't know it.
Hey, fuck you! I did apparently, according to Google Fit, I did 21 minutes of running, and then Friday I'm hiking.
I was actually really proud of you guys last week, turning Just Cool Enough into Just Fit Enough. That was really nice. I was like, oh wow, now I don't even have to release an episode. This is great. You guys just totally talked about fitness the whole time. And by the way, I'm not dead.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I was gonna invite Eric on the show to do it with us, but then I was like, it's just cool enough, except on Monday nights. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do it without Joe because I don't need him.
Yeah, why not? That's good.
But so there's a lot of walking last week out there trying to beat a Tish. Finally, Jeff came from behind and won, so that was really fun.
Hey.
And let's see. I think that's about like the extent. Like I've been going to the gym a lot and doing a lot of the zombies run that Eric's been using too. And I was kind of depressed because yesterday I went to the gym and then at the end I got a phone call and apparently it erased the entire 32-minute run I did. So I got no supplies and it didn't even give me credit for doing the story, so you have to do it again.
Oh, at least you got Fitbit points out of that.
Yeah, but I don't want Fitbit points. I want supplies to feed my town of Able.
It's funny because if Sarah like forgets her Fitbit at home, I'm like, do you want me to carry you up the stairs so you don't have to like get any steps? It's like if you don't have your Fitbit, you're basically a piece of veal. You're just like waiting, and you're just pre-veal at that point.
I was angry with Zombies Run because I didn't even get that. I know that it's like there's a subscription and you can play for free, but I didn't realize how little you can play for free without wait. Like I wasn't even that far into it when it was like, oh, you have to wait 5 days to do the next mission. I was like, what? Fuck that.
So I got Zombies Run way back in the day when it was like $2, and so apparently they're like, well, we grandfathered all those people in for the new shit, so you get it all unlocked already. So I'm like, woohoo, no subscription.
So, Eric, how was your week? Did we gotta go over your week? Did you do anything cool? Okay, yeah, we.
But speaking of Fitbit, though, I did want to throw in as a tangent. We got this email from Brady.
Ooh,
yeah,
he's upset.
Mission 6. I had to wait. I was on the 6th mission.
Why don't you pay the $5 and just do the thing you want to do?
It's
$9 or something.
It's $3 a month or $20 a year.
That's a decent revenue model.
Yeah.
Good job, those guys. We could do that with Just Cool Enough, and then only we can listen to the show. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Ike?
Well, Fitbit. Yeah, Fitbit challenge. Brady was upset that we didn't invite him to the Fitbit challenge.
Oh,
he emailed us about it. It was like, how dare you? I mean, I'm making that part up, but I'm pretty sure that's what he was getting at.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Brady. Brady is our all-time VIP listener, and I mean, Jack Move used to be there, but I don't think he listens anymore. Ever since he had this kid, he got priorities. So I think Brady's he's the MVP, the most valuable patron podcast.
MVL, most valuable listener.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so I was looking at. I actually went over some news stories and stuff this week, and some funny
Holy
ones.
shit! Stop the presses.
I know, right? And one stuck out in my mind, and it was, we've talked a lot in the past about the dolphins taking over because of their laser-seeking vision and things like that. Well, this week, in Florida, of course, there was a reptile that was ringing someone's doorbell, and I think, stop me here, but I think that, actually it's in South Carolina. I just assumed it was Florida because Florida's crazy. But there's a video of an alligator ringing someone's doorbell and like trying to get in their house. So, I mean, we thought that dolphins were the smartest animal, but I think we all might have been wrong because apparently alligators are just like ready to move in down in South Carolina.
If it were that smart, it would just bust in the door. It was just trying to sell cookies.
Yeah, well, I think maybe the alligator might be our allies in the great animal war of 2025 in Robo France. These alligators. If an animal's going to ring a doorbell, I think alligator's probably one of the least likely animals I would have suspected.
Like, oh, a squirrel rang a doorbell.
Yeah,
how cute.
Right, exactly.
Oh, a fucking alligator rang a doorbell.
Right, like a bear breaks in a home. Okay, I get it. Right, or raccoon happens all the time. Squirrel ringing a doorbell, cute. Right, just like you're saying. An alligator getting up on its hind legs and pressing the button with its mouth to ring a doorbell on someone's house. Now that I don't expect. So I think reptiles are probably the next thing we got to watch out for. A lot of people thought it was, other countries or global warming, but I think the reptile invasion is happening, and this is the start of it. So I propose this to you, gentlemen.
I mean, how do we know it wasn't a dolphin dressed as an alligator? I mean, how do we know? How could you possibly know?
The dolphins, I don't think a dolphin carcass could fit in this alligator suit unless it was a baby.
How big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different variety of dolphins.
Are there though?
Sizes.
Are there really?
There's a couple of different dolphins.
Are you a marine biologist? Are you sure?
I might be a marine biologist. I don't know. I haven't checked lately.
I mean, we found out Ike was a minister.
Yeah,
it's true.
Right. I've been one since 2010.
Eric, I wanted you to wed us, but you apparently had other ideas because you had to go work or something or save for your mom's.
Didn't need to ask me. Okay, wow.
Well, you weren't a minister then.
Yeah, well, in his defense, it was super hard. It took me almost 5.5 minutes.
I know, right?
Get...
I did the same, and then I had to wait for an email to confirm from church.
Yeah, and that took maybe an hour. So
oh my gosh, those church servers, they
I got mine instantaneously. Mine showed up right away.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, they increased the bandwidth up to heaven to ask, your deity or whatever. So anyway, watch out for the alligators. Shit's happening, people. Keep an eye out. If you see something, say something. It's very important.
I don't even know necessarily if I go as far as saying that it was an alligator suit with a dolphin in it. Maybe the alligators are working with the dolphins because they just realized that, like, fuck it, you're not going to beat them, so you might as well join them. Maybe there's a place in the kingdom for me, even if it's at the bottom, still there, above humans.
If crocodiles and alligators start roaming the streets...
encyclopedias.
He could have been.
Very polite alligator rings the doorbell. Hey, want to buy some? Oh shit! Alligator, close the door. It's like fuck. The alligator things. Racial profiling. Controversial. Just going for that controversial edge.
So I was watching. You know how 2 weeks ago I was watching a bunch of like these old skits on YouTube about how to act and some old propaganda skits and stuff.
So it hasn't worked yet.
No, I don't, because you specifically made me cut that out of both the archive and the YouTube version of the show.
Well, I mentioned it a little bit to you guys. So anyway, I've been watching these skits, and there was a skit called, it was not a skit, but a PSA, a public service announcement that was made in the 50s, and they were talking about like what's the difference between
Hold on,
dating.
Let me write down the time code for when you talk about this, so when you email me in an hour,
easier to
get rid of it, so I can delete it.
So there's this thing. It's called going steady. Have you heard of it, guys?
Yeah, it's when you give a lady your class ring or some bullshit.
Or your coat, your
varsity coat.
jacket. Yeah.
So, we have dating nowadays, right? Okay. And we have but this going steady thing is, I guess I don't know. I think it would be helpful if there was this step here in like a relationship, because like I always pictured like, okay, I'm dating people and you're like dating multiple people at the same time and trying to find the best one, and that's great. But like going steady is like, I think you got some
exclusivity.
I think it's
right.
I think it's laughable that any one of us would have at any point in their life dated more than one person at the same time.
I think you're speaking for yourself, Eric, because I know Ike probably has, and I think that's just kind of normal, right?
Technically, I didn't date multiple people.
It's not. I mean, like if you're and that's what I'm saying.
Flirting with multiple people at the same time. I was interested in multiple people and getting really friendly with multiple people at the same time, but I wouldn't go as far as saying I was dating any of them.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think dating should be like level 1. Like, hey, I'm dating. I'm going out there on dates, and you're dating multiple people, and you're meeting people. But if you're going steady, that's like the next thing. That's like, hey, that's the exclusivity deal. Like, I'm only coming out on PS3. I'm, like that's it. Exclusivity is going steady. Why did this term die? It seems really a good.
I don't even know why it would need to exist.
Because we just explained why it needs to exist.
I understand why you think it needs to exist, but I think it's an out of date practice that, like, if two people are going to be monogamous, they'll be like, hey, like, I'm really interested in you. Let's make this a thing. If not, whatever. I don't. It's just like you should get married before you move in together. I think that's bullshit nowadays too.
But I think like if you had that intermediate step, it would be more pronounced to other people.
Exists. I mean,
what do you call it?
How many people? They're just dating. How many people do you know? It's like, yeah, we've been together 6 months, but I still fuck other people. I haven't said we're steady yet.
Okay, but the reason I bring this up is because and Ike, you'll appreciate this, is if you say your boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody, that's like, okay, you could say that flippantly, like you're just, okay, yeah, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's not as big of a deal. But if you're like, hey, I'm going steady, no, like this is the girl I'm going steady with, then that's like, hey, we're not married, but we're gonna be.
Why don't we court people anymore?
That's what dating is.
No, courting is but there is nobody else, and you're going to marry this person. That's what courting is. I've already decided that you are the one I'm going to marry from, and people do it all the time. They get set up. So why not? I mean, the Duggars still do it. Why not go screw Screw just going steady. Just start courting people.
But okay, well then maybe that's another term for it. I don't know. We're courting. Yes. Like it sounds fancy, right? Like indubitably. I'm just presenting this out to the world. I think the term should be brought back because it would make. Why not? I think it serves a purpose.
What purpose?
I think it's an irrelevant purpose.
It delineates the early stages of dating versus the later stages of dating.
Why is that important? Yeah.
Because at one point you could be dating or seeing multiple people, and then you're going steady with the one.
That title only matters to you and the person, maybe the person you're with. Nobody else.
I don't know. I think
Susie's going steady with Joe.
It's a signaling. It's a signaling device, though. Like it's
like a wedding ring.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wedding. It's like a promise saying, right? Like you're just putting it out there. But actually, you know what? You just used a word too. Seeing, like, hey, oh yeah, I'm seeing someone. Like that's like pre-dating, right? So there's like seeing, there's
We're in
dating.
An open relationship. Would that be dating? Would that be steady? But where we have other people with friends with benefits?
I don't know. Like that probably moves into its complicated range. Oh man, yeah. Like, but I saw this term. I saw it in a PSA. I'm like, why did it just go away? It makes sense.
I guess I just got like Back to the Future with Marty McFly. Like they're going steady.
Yeah, no, you gotta believe me. Like your kids turn out to be assholes.
Let me get my shocked face on.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe. If one of your kids set fire to the rug, just let him burn, Ike. He deserved it.
That's what I think.
You gotta learn, like, you know, I come from the school of hard knocks. You know, my dad, he let me burn myself on an iron. That's how you learn.
You only do it once or twice if you're a smart person.
I think you really just do it once. If you do it twice, you got a bigger problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a smart person. Maybe twice by accident. Third time, you probably need some mental help. Or
some burn cream or something. I turned my hand into Spam. You guys have any topics? I can keep going. I got lots of stuff.
No, please continue to bring up irrelevant.
Tomorrow I'm gonna go fucking try and get a job.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wait, what?
Job.
Yeah, I was talking. I was at a friend's show, and then we went to the bar next door afterwards. And I normally don't do that, but I figured, what the fuck? I was talking to a guy I kind of know about stuff, and we were having the normal. It's like, oh well, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm unemployed. I live with my mom. It's like, oh, are you looking for a job? No, not really. We actually had a really nice conversation because I think we're the same age, but he was like, he's like, I mean, you should probably get a job, because he's like, yeah, because I was similar. Like the first 6 years I lived out here.
Those jobs where you have to put balloons full of heroin up your ass. And
oh God! Yeah, I get to fly to all these exotic countries, guys. All I have to do is stick this balloon of heroin up my asshole.
No, you don't stick it up your asshole, dumbass. You swallow it, and then in 2 days shit it out. Fucking moron.
If you're lucky, unless it explodes in your stomach while on the plane.
Well, that's the riffs. That's why you're paid so well.
That's the big bucks right there.
He was saying about how his parents used to support him. They would send him money, and he would be, and then they cut him off, and he's like, that was the best thing that happened to me, because it forced me to, get a job, and because he's like, because I'm lazy. I was like, I'm lazy too. Maybe because I do feel like I was more productive in the 2.5 months I had a job. So I'm actually Universal Studios is opening a permanent Walking Dead attraction, which is basically just what I did for Halloween Horror Nights anyways. And so I figured tomorrow I'm going to an audition for that, and if I get it, that would be fun, because it's a job. It's a job. Like, it's not like, oh, it's so much fun, I enjoy every day of this, but it's like, I can do this. I know how to do this. And it pays well enough, and so yeah. That's
awesome.
Unlike Halloween Horror Nights, because it's permanent, I would assume to have more control over my schedule. Whereas Halloween Horror Nights were like, these are the nights you're going to work. like, these are the nights of Halloween Horror Nights, and you will be at all of them. It's like, fuck. Whereas this will be, I will hopefully have more control over, like, I could have days off.
I think that's a really good fit for you, Eric, because I mean you already have this moist alabaster skin that's zombie-like anyway. So
my
I mean
skin
they barely
is
have to.
Very dry. It's very dry and ashy.
I just wanted to use.
Want to say moist.
You're right, I did. But seriously though, it's alabaster, and I think you're already halfway to looking like a zombie anyway. So it's like you don't even have to do makeup. It's great.
Yeah.
They save money, and you get a job. I mean, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win-win, actually, because
there are roles that don't require makeup, and hopefully I'll have one of those, because I didn't have to do makeup besides just getting airbrush around my eyes.
Head zombie.
No, because I don't know what the attraction will be like, but I walked through it this year, and it was based off the last season, so they had, like, the crazy people at Terminus, like, slicing throats and stuff like that, but
man getting eaten 3, like, oh man, a man getting eaten 3 again.
There was man getting eaten 3, because it was funny, because like there was this whole thing where this girl I knew, she was kind of one of the people that doesn't have a permanent place. They just kind of push her around wherever they need people to be, and like she was telling us once, like, she's like, yeah, I did The Walking Dead and they had me do this part, and they were like, I was like, wait, isn't this part in the show a black man? And they're like, oh, don't worry, we'll paint your face and give you an afro. And she's like, so
what,
blackface? And they're like, no, not blackface, but we'll just darken your skin and give you an afro. She's like, no, you're not gonna do that. You won't do that. That's a terrible idea. Have you been doing that? And then like,
is this something that happens all the time?
Yeah, so when I don't know if that was how, like, that was early on, and I don't know if they ever actually did that, but it was funny because when I walked through it, like a week or two later, when I walked through it, it was just a white person now. They were like, I guess they learned, like, hey, maybe let's not put someone in blackface.
Now they see, if they want to be equal, they have to put like some more people in there with like wheelchairs and all kinds of stuff. So yeah. Maybe you could be man in wheelchair getting eaten.
Or I might even be like, sometimes they have like just like not even puppets, but like zombie body on like a stick that somebody has to push the stick or something. They have those guys. They have that stuff too. Like
maybe you'll get alligator ringing a doorbell #1.
Maybe. Well, I don't know, because it's not based off one particular season. It's going to be a permanent thing. I assume it. From what I saw, they were like promotional pictures, and it looks like they're grabbing like the best moments from all the series. So I don't know what the actual permanent.
All right, Eric, we're just gonna trap you in this doorway. Yeah. Sorry, Ike. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just talking over you.
Oh no, I was talking over you.
Eric looks like he could pull off a good like governor. Like if you want to cosplay, like he has the kind of the governor look from the show.
I think you're totally right. Eric, you're gonna be driving the tank. Like, oh, cool.
I'm gonna, in the comic universe, rape Michonne and then get my eye pulled out by her. Or in the television universe, don't do it because it's TV and we can't show that.
But still get my eye ripped out.
Yeah.
You're gonna get shot by a bow and arrow, just because. That's just gonna happen. Yeah. I hope you don't get stuck in any any revolving doors and then your arms get ripped off or something.
Like, oh, we really want to hire the Eric Raker guy, but the only thing we have left is horse getting its innards ripped out #1. So you're just gonna have to lay there on your side.
All we have left is Mr. Hand. Wait, that wasn't a show. Yeah, we're departing. We're taking a real departure.
Can you give me a good neigh, Eric? Like a horse?
No, I would be Mr. Hand in this scenario.
Oh God.
How do you feel about being fucked to death by a horse on camera? Not good. Not good.
No, not good. But for the right compensation.
Blackface, though. Step up for blackface.
Yeah, I guess you win some, you lose some.
That's my alternative. I'll go with the horse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, interesting thing happened in my life today, or actually not today, but. Again. Well, what do you want me to do?
This is about Eric. The show's about Eric. It's been 328 episodes about Eric. You can't just start changing the formula.
No, you're right. You're right.
This one.
Okay. All right.
Okay, good. Finally, I finally get some time to talk on air here.
All right, time's up. You had your chance. You blew it.
Oh, I got so nervous. I didn't know what to do. I locked up. Chance over. Anyway, yeah. So, Sarah, I decided that I'm going to be going on a staycation for the summer. So the scenery. No fishing at all. It definitely not fishing. So the scenery behind me, if you're watching live, may change a little bit because what we decided to do, as you know, we sold our giant home in the middle of the suburbs, and now we're just kind of like nomadic here. I'm living with my in-laws, which is great. They're awesome. But we found a awesome deal subleasing an apartment in downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan. And which is really great because it's like 10 minutes away from my work and it's living in a downtown setting for like 3 months. So what happens is like the kids, they all go to University of Michigan. They're out of school now. And so there's this like 3.5 month gap that happens between now and August that they all signed leases for. So there's tons of people selling the rooms and parking spots for ultra cheap. And we were talking, and I'm like, oh, why don't we just rent a room in downtown Ann Arbor for like the summer? It would be like our summer home. We'd be vacationing. So Sarah and I are officially going to be nomads, and we're going to just we rented a high-rise room somewhere, and in the downtown part of the city, and we're just going to live there for like 3.5 months. And I think it's going to be really awesome because I always wanted to live in a downtown area. I did do some time downtown Detroit, but it really wasn't the same that this is going to be.
It's going to be like Slugs? Are you going to have a really cool view of like...
No, definitely not that cool. Slugs' place is fucking awesome. But, yeah, so I'm super excited about this. I'm deciding to holiday, basically, but I'm also going to be way closer to work. It's going to be a quick thing. Do you guys ever figure, just like pick up and go nomad style? Because this is like some minimalist living stuff. Somebody else is paying most of the bills. I don't know. I thought it was pretty smart. I just wanted to tell you guys, like, this is a cool idea, and you should consider it if you can. Subleasing, that is. No, you got.
I haven't really thought of it myself. I mean, being a teacher, kind of tied down a
No,
bit.
for the summer, you can go live wherever you want.
Yeah, I'm going to Australia with any luck.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you're doing the thing. Like, why not sublease somewhere out in Australia and just live there for all 3 months?
I mean, I'm going to audition for, and I'm not going to get it, but Boom Chicago, which is an improv sketch theater in Amsterdam. So that would be awesome to live in Amsterdam for a couple of months. I won't get it, but I would do that.
Oh my gosh! If you live in Amsterdam, then you can hang out with Freck. Then he'll meet 2/3 of the show. Then Ike will have to go to Amsterdam eventually. I did want to bring up one last thing here, and it is
really quick though, Joe. I know I told you about the wedding that I'm having next summer. You said you might be booked up. I have this unrelated. I have this text sitting here on my iPhone to Sarah that suggests
God,
she should ask you about fishing.
Oh God damn it!
Up on the show. I haven't sent it yet.
Just leave it alone. I'm gonna be really busy, but I guess I could pencil in your wedding.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you please delete
that.
It's
on a lake boat and they're fishing.
It's a related wedding because we're right on Rhode Island, so we figured
the fishing. Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's a houseboat, I'm down. I like those. Those are cool.
That's actually, it was going to be just a little dinghy. I was just going to invite you and Eric to
just play outside on your dinghy
and go fishing.
There you go.
It turns into Godfather 2 and you're Fredo.
Hey, that's enough of that, Eric. You're getting too close to home. So this crazy thing happened, and I guys, go to the site right now. Are you ready for this? Go. Pull up your browser, and go to www.
It has to minimize Stardew Valley now.
Oh, please just go to this site, Chevy Jolt. EV.
Or I can just click on the link that you put in the show notes.
Or you can click the link that is on justcoolenough.com. Go to justcoolenough.com right now. While you're there, why not hit the donate button? We've been doing the show for 328 episodes. Why not throw us a couple bucks? The least you could do is tell your friends about it, too, because you cheap bastards aren't paying us.
That doesn't count. Yeah, cost anything unless cost you maybe some friendship, but it's totally worth it.
You know what? If you listen to all the episodes and you still haven't donated money, you deserve to lose a friend. Anyway, go to www.chevyljoltev.com. All right, now check out this car. Are you guys seeing this?
It looks like a car.
Yeah. Right. Now, if you keep scrolling down on the site, you can see all the great things about this car. This was actually a giant prank that one person put together and basically pranked the internet, saying that, like, hey, Chevy's coming out with this Jolt and it's going to have 230 miles of range and it's going to cost $30,000 and it'll be available in late 2018. Like, this is kind of like the car that a lot of people have been looking for. It's great. It has all this great technology. The site is excellently put together. And I just was amazed that this was a giant joke. So anyway, I messaged the person who made the site. I'm like, this is awesome. I can't believe you did this. And the person says that I'm going to go interview them and see, like, why did they do this thing? Because they essentially pranked the internet, and all these people thought it was a totally real thing, unless you were really into things and you knew what that Chevy concept car was. But like, seriously, isn't this impressive? Somebody just did this as a farce, as a little gag.
I mean, yeah, it looks like every car site I've ever been to.
Right. Exactly. And they were just like, yeah, why not? I'll just make this thing and totally come out with a car.
My improv coach keeps telling me I should get that Fiat he's got, that electric Fiat.
Dude, the electric Fiat's a great car. The Fiat 500
I don't got a job. Also, it would be a little harder for me to charge it because I can't charge it here. So I'd have to, like, park. I mean, there's charging stations around. There's a lot in Los Angeles I could find. But yeah, it would be a little harder for me to get around charging it.
Yeah, it sucks kind of if you have an apartment, you don't have dedicated charging spots. But yeah, seriously, though, if you're gonna
not all of us have a house in the Hollywood Hills like him, or work for Facebook like my friend Ray who bought the car. So basically, it's a free car for him because he gets his down payment back from the government, and then it's like $120 a month or whatever the fuck, and then he can charge it at Facebook for free. So it's a free car.
Yeah. Basically. I mean, it might cost him $60 a month to charge it.
I think I would be more impressed.
Not at Facebook. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
he charges it at work, and it's free.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ike?
I'd be more impressed with this if I knew anything about cars that didn't involve 4 tires and an engine and runs on gas or electricity. Well, but that's about the extent of.
The idea that an electric car can go 230 miles before it needs to recharge is crazy because the Fiat goes 90.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can go get a Tesla that'll go 300, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. And then the Cadillac, they made the stats on this thing just good enough where it's like, yeah, that's attainable, definitely by 2018. This seems very reasonable. So I just thought it was brilliantly done. So hats off to whoever this person is. I don't know their name yet. Why? What's wrong?
You emailed them?
I did. Know?
And they responded, but still don't know their name.
Well, yeah, they talked in a voice modifier. It's like,
well, no, they went through. If you want to buy a car, you will talk. No. They made an Instagram, a Facebook, and a Twitter account for the car too. Like they legitimately launched a vehicle essentially.
This person is creative and also has drive, unlike every one of us and everybody I know.
No, Eric, that's you again. That's you talking for you.
I see what you did there, though. Car, drive.
No,
car.
He didn't mean to do that. Don't
Maybe
give him credit.
You know what? Maybe he did.
He didn't. All right, listen. I know Eric. He's not the pun guy. All right.
Again, bashing on Eric. We don't just come on here to make fun of Eric, okay?
Eric, you know what? Like, you've gotten off pretty lightly today.
I'm gonna go on my friend Johnny's podcast again. And he didn't make fun of me, and I got to talk about Ninja Turtles all I wanted.
Have I gotten off lightly today, Joe? We can go outside, back here.
Wait, why were we so mean to each other today? We got some.
How many steps do you guys take in a day?
I mean, like, normally like 4,000 or 5,000 if I'm doing nothing.
I can pull down an average of 10K a day.
Nice. Because I was just looking at mine. I'm at 4,000, and that's basically entirely my run.
Right, yeah. Like, if I do nothing all day, I can get about 4,000 or 5,000, and then if I go work out, it's another 5,000 or so.
I don't think that's scientifically possible to do nothing and get 4,000 unless you're just waving your hand around in the air while doing nothing.
I'm Italian. I talk it with my hand.
And mine's on my phone, and it only tracks when I'm carrying my phone around, which if I'm around the house, I don't.
I tend to find that my phone one, when I have both of them on me for the same amount of time, my phone one seems to give more steps.
I've noticed the same thing. Anyway, guys, I think we have like 5 minutes left in the show.
Stop talking about this bullshit and start plugging each other.
All right.
Power thirst.
My plug this week is going to be Saving Throw Show at savingthrowshow.com. They do awesome Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPGs, and they stream them live and they put the archives up, and it's really awesome. And my show that I'm a part of, the Dark Sun with Dungeon World, is Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's awesome. And last week they did their big 26-hour marathon, which I got to be a part of because it just happened to coincide with when my show was anyways. And I believe they're in the process of cutting that up into little chunks and throwing that on YouTube, so if you want to check those out. But yeah, it's some really cool people. They're doing some really fun stuff, so I think you should maybe check them out.
Coincidentally, that's what I'm going to do to Joe if he doesn't come to my wedding.
I mean, like, I told you I was busy, but also I don't want to go fishing, so you can use that.
That's how bad you don't want to go fishing, huh?
I would rather pay a bunch of money to go see you be wed.
Then take a couple of hours just kind of relaxing.
Oh, God, that sounds terrible. My plug for this week is another plug where one of our hosts, because they're like the hosts that are stepping up and doing stuff, like they get on other shows, they do other things. I was on a podcast called Top Dead Centered Podcast. It was episode number 6, and we talked like a straight 2 hours about just cars, and it was amazing. I've never just jumped on a show and felt like so connected with these guys. So the three dudes on the show are awesome. I'm just so happy that I was on there and got to talk cars, and we got deep. Like this is a car show. You might find it entertaining, but if you're into cars, you will find it entertaining. I can't even. Sometimes things just come together so perfectly, and honestly, it's probably one of the best podcasts as far as content that I've ever done. It was great. What?
Been on like 4 other podcasts, and that's the one.
No, I'm just if I was going to encapsulate one.
Okay, you don't have to backtrack now.
I'm not backtracking. This podcast had great content, and I enjoyed it.
Over the background noise.
Shut up, Mike. This episode was the second best one. The first best one was the Space-Time Oddity. Go check that one out if you're a first-time listener. I know.
Don't fucking try this shit. You can't turn around and make this shit better now.
What are you?
I'm not your piece. You said your thing. You said what you said, and you can't unsay it.
Listen, everybody knows what this is. All right.
You can't just hop on the show and start bashing people the whole episode. It doesn't work that way.
Why not?
Man, shut up and let Ike do his plugs.
Yeah. I didn't find that.
Eat my spinach puffs all alone.
Or you could eat them while fishing. Let's see. This week, I think I'm going to go ahead and plug. We're going to go with Charlie the Unicorn. We'll do a throwback. That or Power Thirst. If you're hanging around on YouTube and you want a little bit of nostalgia, go watch Charlie the Unicorn or go watch the Power Thirst videos. They're amazing. They're timeless. Or Dr. Tram. Why not? Yeah. We'll throw him in there too.
Now we have to put all 3 of those as your plug. Do you want the Candy Mountain Charlie the uniform?
I didn't have one the week before that, so I'm just using up all the ones I haven't used in the past.
You're saving them up for later.
Saving them up for this one time.
Okay, actually that's fair. Why not?
It's about fair that we let you guys go and stop having to deal with all this horse shit. So thank you guys so much for listening. Have a fantastic weekend and fuck off.
Whoa! Hey, it's just I hate when you do that. I hate when I wanted to plug Shout Engine again. I wanted to do
once again we made it about Joe. It's what Joe wants.
I wanted to do all this great stuff. What about Alpha Geek?
There's a
what
whole
about
section called plugs that you could have been doing all that stuff, but instead you're talking
there's
about
separate plugs. We got plugs for Alpha Geek, we got plugs for Shout Engine, and then like I think we should all get personal plugs. Those things are just what makes the show possible.
Plugs.
You're always saying fuck off early, Eric. Why are you doing that?
Plugs.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Why are you
The
still
system.
broadcasting this garbage?
I don't know.